than the way the person asks the question, and it doesn't track, it doesn't make sense. So you really have to kind of, if you're directing something like that, you really have to watch that, make sure it sounds conversational. And by the end of it, it should sound like they're just talking to each other instead of, you know, recording a bit here and a bit here and a bit here, and it doesn't really fit together, you know. So it's kind of, it's tricky. It's all very tricky, what we do. Magic. It's movie magic. Yes?
Going back to the morality of technology, and I guess tying it into the show, with the way technology is headed now, or I guess in the show, or the way technology was headed in the show, would you prefer to be a doll or a human?
Is this guy high? No, I'm just kidding. I'd always prefer to be a human than a doll.
Why?
Because I like being a human.
Okay.
I like being human, and I think that humans, you know, at their core, can be good beings and try to do the right thing and have empathy. And I don't know that dolls can, and I don't know that dolls can. Jeez, I'm really thinking about this, aren't I? I don't know that dolls can really feel this.
Are you high?
Yes. I'm high, but are you? Gee, nothing worse than an angry audience member. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, that's a good question, but I don't know. I would prefer to be human. I guess probably because it's what I know and what I'm used to, so, you know. God, now they're cutting the guy's toes off. Oh, yes, yes. You. Oh, yeah, please stand for us. Thank you.
Hello, gorgeous.
Yes. You don't talk, just stand there for a while.
Strike a pose.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I have a question for you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So, as Batou's voice, I was going to say, I'm thinking that you're in a very lucky position in that for an audience, anything like that, you get a chance to actually bring him to life. How would you describe what you do to actually bring him to life? How would you describe the core pieces or concepts that you put into your character?
Damn.
I don't think it's as complex as that, to tell you the truth. I think honestly, I think when you're an actor, you kind of think about what of this character is kind of close to you, and you kind of use that to engage yourself into the character. Even if you're playing someone who's evil and horrible and does terrible things that you would never do, you still try to find what is it that I can relate to or connect with on this character. With Batou, it was really easy for me, because he's just this big, tough guy, like I said, with a mushy inside, and I have a mushy inside, and so, and he's got this really dry sense of humor. So I have a dry sense of humor. So I mean, I could really kind of relate and connect with those aspects of his character, so for me, it wasn't that difficult. I think it was a real good fit. Sometimes it's just a good fit. Right actor for the right part. Would you like to stand up and ask me another question? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Do it.
Did you have a question in the back? The backpack? No. This guy here. Did you have a question? Anyone have a question? Yes.
In the show, there's a lot made between Batou's relationship with the Tachikoma, and they're not in the movies. So how did you feel about them and their role as characters?
They bugged this shit out of me. I'm sorry, but they're a pain in the ass. What? You know what? The idea of them is kind of cool, to have these kind of military vehicles, but the voices they picked, and I guess they're that way in the Japanese too. But it's just like they probably wouldn't bother me as much if they had more of a rugged voice. I know all the girls that do them would probably hate me for saying that, but they're just kind of annoying to me. Mr. Batou! Shut the fuck up. So I don't know, but
don't clap for him. He's speaking blasphemy.
But the idea of these, I I mean, I like the idea of them because they have AI and they're kind of have their own intelligence, and they're these military vehicles. I mean, they should kind of have a tough voice to them, but they gave them these crazy voices. I don't really understand the. I'm sure there's a reason why they did. I'm sure they thought about it and thought it might be an interesting dichotomy, but.
I always thought they were trying to make them like sectionize children, like they were about to put those kids on.
Oh, maybe. But he's always giving them the real oil, and that messes them up somehow. And give them the synthetic oil, the real oil, makes them a little loopy somehow. I don't know. Yes, you in the back. Yes, I know. No, you in the great shirt that I'm going to steal later.
Yeah. Okay, have you, this is a two-parter. Have you actually had a chance to meet the Japanese VA for Batou? If you have, what were the circumstances? And if you haven't, what would you say?
I haven't met him. One of my biggest desires is really to go to Japan. I've never been to Japan. I would love to go there. And I have a lot of people over there because I do a lot of business with different people from Japan, and I would love to go over there and meet some of these people and go to some of the studios where the stuff's made, IG, and some of these different production companies, and just meet these people, and because they treat their voice actors over there really well.
Yeah.
So they treat them, like movie stars, which is kind of appealing to me. But so I would like to do that. What I would say to him, I don't know. I think he does a great job in the Japanese. I don't know. It's like another language. Yes.
How would you interpret Batou's voice if he had an English accent?
If you had a what?
English accent.
Oh.
Have you been sharing your spleef with her?
Hey, I stole her question earlier. How's that?
Major, what are you doing? What's the temperature going on here? What's that? Take that, you touch Kevin! Maybe that's the wrong approach.
Do Scottish, Russian.
Yes, well, Tachkoma, come over here. I'll give you a little scotch, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean. Got it?
James Batou. My name is Batou. James Batou. What the hell happened to my panel?
I'm slung for the ride at this point, really.
This poor guy, he's prepared like 47 pages of notes to do in the panel, and I've just totally usurped it. I'm sorry about
Like
that.
I said, they're not here to hear me talk, so feel
Look, somebody left us candy. That's fantastic. What else? Oh my God, there's used syringes and everything. What the hell kind of hotel is this? Oh, Jonathan's eager. Hi, how are you? Did you have a question? Yes.
We all know that you're a big James Bond fan.
Yeah, that's true.
If they ever did an animated version of a James Bond, would you be very interested in doing the
I would be very interested in doing it, yes. I'd be interested in doing anything with James Bond. Actually, the only thing I've ever been associated with James Bond was Ellen and I, my wife, we cast the Quantum of Solace game, the mocap. And that's the only connection to any of the Bond stuff that we've ever had, so.
Was Daniel Craig in it?
Yeah, his voice was in it. He didn't mocap himself, but his voice was in it. Yeah, so that was kind of cool, just to be associated with anything Bond for me. So I'm a big Bond fan. I was I mentioned earlier, I worked for DreamWorks. I worked for DreamWorks and Universal and supervised a bunch of our films overseas. And I was we would do the mixes. I would supervise the mix at Pinewood Studios in London. And for me to be on Pinewood Studios and go see the 007 stage was like, I was in heaven. I was in heaven. Whatever, I should tell my weird, I told you my,
Share.
You're Richard Epcar, you're huge.
What's,
Tell them whatever you want.
what's going to happen? YouTube,
I
right?
could be arrested.
We gave birth to the Batou Tachikoma fan fiction now. So
No, there you go. Oh my God. Holy crap. All right. Yeah, we got time. I was supervising Chicken Run into Polish.
Oh my God.
True. I was in Warsaw, Poland, and Poland had just kind of gone from being communist to, at the time, it was a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. It kind of converted recently to capitalism. So I was staying at a Sheraton, and they didn't have a lot of Western businessmen. I guess they considered me a Western businessman because I was from the West. I don't know how much of a businessman I am. But anyway, I was at this, the manager of the hotel would invite all the people that were long-term guests to come to these parties that they would have. They'd have one party every week. And the purpose of it, they would have food and booze, and it was really nice, but the purpose of it was they wanted to basically pump our brains to find out what we liked about the hotel, what we didn't like, what they could do to bring more people from the West over, more tourists and that sort of thing. So I went to the one of the, I think it was the first one I went to, and nobody spoke English really. Everyone was speaking all these different languages, and there was like a little pocket in the corner of these people that were speaking some English. And this one girl had this, she had this southern accent, and she sounded like Holly Hunter. And I walked over there and I said, "Oh, you guys are from the States?" And she said, "Yeah, we're from the States." And I said, "What are you guys doing here?" And she goes, "Oh, well, we're here to help the government with their communication skills." Yes. She said it just like that, and I said, "Oh, that's kind of." I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of weird. So she says, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I work for MI6. And as soon as I said that, then all three of them said, "Oh my God, MI6 sucks. They keep dropping the ball. Every time we do something, they screw it up. And they can't do anything right. They're just messed up." And then she stopped me and said, "Wait a minute. You work for MI6 and you're American?" I said, "Yes. Don't you have Brits working for you?" She said, "Yeah, we do."
You're gonna get blackback tonight.
So I'm thinking, here I am, some schlucky actor from LA, and I totally busted these CIA guys to the cover in like 2 seconds, and I'm going, "Oh my God, they're gonna kill me in my sleep." So I said, "Okay, I gotta go now. Nice meeting you. Bye-bye." That was scary. But that's a true story. And I hope those are not the best guys we have, That would be really bad.
You're still alive, they suck.
I think Operation Epcar has been in for years now. They've been trying to track me down.
And as soon as this gets on YouTube, you're gonna get blackback.
Just kidding, Langley. Yeah.
Do you do any regular theater?
Yes. Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I was stage trained originally. That's where I come from, the stage. And I did, not too long ago, I did a play at a theater in Beverly Hills, Theater 40, and it was Neil Simon's Rumors, and I did that with my wife, and we had a blast, and we just had so much fun with that show. We got huge crowds and standing ovations every night. It was just really, really fun. So I miss that from time to time. I also miss acting in front of the camera, but I just finished a film called Broken Spirits. I have one of the leads in that film, and I play a shady shaman, which was really good casting for me, actually. And it's just really a fun movie. I get to be silly and serious and fight, and it just was a great part for me. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's supposed to be out in Christmas, and hopefully it'll be distributed on the big screen so we can go see it on the big screen. That would be really nice. If not, it'll be on DVD, and maybe you guys can pick it up and check it out. Yeah, thank you. Thank the one person who clapped. Thank you. Oh, being the lead in the movie is not good enough for you people, huh? That's more like it.
We prefer when you write and direct it too. So.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I went off.
Voice acting.
You take a left at. No, this is a true story. Also, it's I went to Los Angeles to be an on-camera actor, which I did. I did a lot of soaps and some episodic television and little movie work. And my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, was doing a little movie, and they had done another film that they didn't like the voices in the movie, so they had auditions to replace the voices. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, said, can I bring my boyfriend, who was me, to the audition? So I went to the audition, and the guy said to me, have you ever done this before? And I said, oh, I've done it a million times. I never did it before in my life. So I went in and I kind of took to it, you know, like duck to water, because I'm also a drummer. I play, I'm in a band, the LA River Band. We play a lot of gigs around town in Los Angeles. And I think that, especially dubbing, there's a rhythm to it. So I kind of got into the rhythm of the lip sync, and it really, being an actor and a musician, I think it really kind of was a good fit, and it just kind of happened naturally. And I know some people really have a hard time dubbing, and I think it's people that are non-musical that have the hard time with it for the most part. And I just took to it really easily, and from there they gave me other parts, and then from those parts I got cast in Robotech, and then from Robotech I did a bunch of other stuff, and then pretty soon I started directing and writing and producing and being a janitor, and so it just kind of all evolved, and it was really great. And now I'm really happy with what's going on. I'm in this new original series in Nickelodeon, which I'm really thrilled to be doing, and I'm doing a lot of really nice AAA games, and I'm doing some leads, and so I'm really happy about that. So it's been a long road, but it's been worth it, and it just seems to get better and better all the time. So I'm happy about that. Who has not asked a question? You.
Do you love your fans?
I love my fans. You guys are great. Give yourselves a hand. Come on. You know, I love my fans, and I'll tell you something about that real quick. You know, I was at one convention, and this woman said to me, she says, you know, you seem to like the fans more than the on-camera people do, and you know, I mean, I know what she means, and I said, yeah, you know, you're right, and I'll tell you why, because we're stuck in these dark booths all day long, and we're doing this stuff, and we don't know if you guys like what we do or not, and when we come to a convention like this and you guys really appreciate what we do, it makes us feel great. So thank you guys very much for appreciating our work and coming out and seeing this stuff and being part of it. It makes us feel great too, so I applaud you. Yes.
If you had like carte blanche to choose any type of role in any sort of anime, like what's your favorite type of role? What's your favorite character? What do you like playing the most?
Well, that's a really tough one too, because you know, I wish I could be pigeonholed. You know, and I don't mean to be facetious when I say that, but there's certain people that have like one voice, and they do the same voice in every bloody thing they do. And they can, not mentioning names, but they're the same in everything, and that's fine. And I mean, they can be great. Listen, there's some great actors who are basically the same character on screen in every single movie, but they're great at what they do. They're great at what they do. They are. And that's wonderful, but to me, what's so great about the voice acting is you can be any character that you can vocally imagine. And to me, that's really true acting. So to do characters when people come up to me and go, I didn't know that was you, that didn't sound anything like you, that makes me feel really happy. Because it's like, wow, you know. So when I get the chance to play something that's really like, you know, 160 degrees, you know, north of what I normally do, it's... Joker. Yeah, Joker was one, and Inspector Lunge and Monster was another one, and you know, just these weird, you know, I get a chance to play some really crazy characters sometimes, and it's just really fun. So it's nice, you know, it's just nice. I love doing action. I love to do the action stuff with the tough guy villains, and I also love doing stuff that's really well written, some really good meaty acting stuff. So it's kind of hard, and I love doing comedy, so it's kind of hard, you know, it's pretty much runs the gamut, you know. Yes, you over there against the wall with the glasses on.
Speaking of like character types that you like to play, how did you like playing a wacky character that uses his nose hairs powers.
Bo, 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 bo. Super fist of the nose hair. I wanted to be in on the meeting. You know, the meeting where they pitch the idea and say, I got this great idea, see? There's a guy with nose hairs, see? And he fights crime with his nose hairs. What do you think? And they go, oh, that's brilliant. Green light it. And this is another true story. They offered me that part 5 times. 5 times I turned it down. I turned it down. I did not want to play bo 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 bo. I didn't want to do it. I was really busy at the time. I thought, this show is insane. Which it is. And they kept coming back to me and saying, oh, you gotta do it. Epcar, you gotta do it. Epcar, you're the only one. Epcar, you gotta do it. I get these phone calls. Epcar, you gotta do it. I'd open the refrigerator door, there'd be a guy there. Epcar, you gotta do it. Go to the bathroom, lift the lid of the toilet. Epcar, you gotta do it. So finally I said, okay, I'll do it. Just get out of my toilet. So I accepted the part, and I'm actually glad I did. It was a very, very tough part because there's a lot of screaming in it, and then I have to do a little girly voice in it too. So I'd be doing all the screaming, and then I have to do this high, shrill, girly voice. So it was just kind of a crazy, crazy show. But I'm glad I did it. We actually had a lot of fun and a lot of laughs, so it worked out. Worked out well. Yes, you have a
follow-up for that one.
A follow-up, yes. Yes, you against the wall.
Because you just came out with all the character types. How hard and how did you enjoy doing the audio scene that you did? It was like 40 different character voices.
Oh God, thank you for reminding me of that.
You're welcome.
Stranger against the wall that I've never seen before in my life.
But Uncle Richard, we know.
What? What Manny's referring to, if that is the stranger's name.
CSI would know.
I just did an audio book. It's a Doc Savage novel called White Eyes, and I actually have only 2 copies of it left here today. Oh, you can show them. Yeah, it's in the bag. I also have pictures to sell after the panel if you'd be interested in my autographed picture. But I have 2 of these left. It's a really, thank you. Oh, look at that. Wow. And what a lovely packaging it is, too.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Stop playing with yourself.
When did I lose the show?
I think it was after I introduced you, really.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But anyway, what's cool about this is I get to do 40 different characters in this, and the narrator, and it's recorded in what they call 3D sound, which means if you listen to it in headphones or on your car, you'll hear the narrator in the center, but the other characters will be to the left or right, and it moves around, and it sounds like there's a bunch of people doing it. It's just me reading it. And the tough thing about this was normally when we go in and we do, anime or recording for animation, you record one character at a time. This I had to do the narrator, and I had to jump into all these characters. So there was it was, oh my God, I thought my head was going to explode, seriously. It was one of the toughest things I've ever done, but I'm very, very proud of this. It came out great. And if you like Doc Savage, it's a great Doc Savage book. So I have 2 more of these left for the lucky people who want to buy those, and I'll be happy to autograph those for you. What else was going to, any other questions? Yes, you had a question.
We have a present for you.
I've got a present for you.
Oh. Can we get tough to throw
Somebody
myself
like
on
this?
something?
She's your president.
Nice. Hello.
Hello.
You guys are terrible.
We get to share an 8-hour car ride home tomorrow.
How are you, sweetie? Nice to see you.
It's gonna be a fun one.
All right, does anyone have a real question for me? Yes.
My question is, like, with all the voice acting that you have to do, and like especially like after having to do 40 voices like that, like, do you ever lose your voice and like?
Oh yeah, I did. I'm working on it. I can't, unfortunately, once again, I can't say the name of the game, but I'm working on this game. It's a combat game, and basically I was only supposed to work 4 hours on this game, and 6 hours later I'm screaming my ass off, non-stop, screaming for 6 hours, and finally the guy goes, I saved the last 10 loops, the worst 10 loops for the end of the session. I said, what is that? He says, we need 10 loops of you being burned alive by a flamethrower. You need 10 loops of me being burned alive by a flamethrower. Yes, we need 10 loops. 30 seconds long. And go. No.
That's my motivation.
And it was horrible. So I'm being burned alive and screaming and burned alive. So by the end of that, he goes, "Oh, wait a minute! I found a part for you." After I've totally blown my pipes out, and he goes, "Oh, it's only a few lines. Don't worry about it." There's like 40 paragraphs that I had to read. By that time, I said, That's kind of what the guy sounded like at the end of that. But yeah, it happens all the time, especially when you're doing, you know, vocally demanding parts when you're screaming, especially these combat games. You know, there's a lot of screaming in these combat games, you know, because you're basically, you have to be screaming over the sounds of the tanks and the guns shooting and all that stuff, so you're just really screaming and screaming and screaming. So what I do is I try not to talk the next day, but you know, what was with this job, the next day I had to do a Hallmark radio spot. And my throat was thrashed, and I basically, what I do is I'll go home and I'll gargle warm salt water, and I'll do that in the morning and at night, and it really helps tremendously. And that's my secret, because if you just really burn your throat out, it just really helps immensely. I still didn't have all of my voice, but I had enough voice to do the spot. And I remember one time, I don't know if you guys saw this Paper-Mate pen commercial I did for the Olympics a couple of years ago. The Paper-Mate pen commercial, the pen's writing, if you saw it, you might recognize it, but they showed it a lot in the Winter Olympics. And I was sick as a dog, and I was trying to get the guy to record it in a day or two, and they just refused to do it, so I had to go in, and I thought I sounded like crap, but actually the spot sounds pretty good. I don't know why, but it was, he goes, no, we got the studio, we gotta go, and it's like, yeah, but I sound like shit. I don't care. But it came out okay, thankfully, so. We have time for one more. You haven't asked a question, have you?
Yeah, the one question, well, I actually have two questions. I've heard that the studios are planning a live-action version of Ghost in the Shell. Have you heard anything about that?
Yes, I have.
The second part is, if so, who would you nominate to be the actor for Batou?
Johnny Depp.
Well, who the fuck do you think? Gee, let me think about this. No, I would love to just even be considered. I would really love it, and I would pump my ass off to get into shape for that. Yeah, I heard that too, and I believe it's Spielberg's company that's going to be doing it. And,
oh God, why?
Yeah, they've been talking about it for a while. But if I don't get an audition for it, someone's in big trouble. That's all I can say. I won't say more. Good, thank you. Yes, write your congressman. All right, one more question. What the hell? Right? Yes.
In the older anime, before you started within the business, was there a role that kind of you would like to have if you had the option to do it? You know, like Akira, any of those older before Ghost in the Shell?
You mean anime shows that happened before Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah,
What I'd like to have been in?
The movies, the shows, yes.
I don't know. I mean, Ninja Scroll. I don't know. Oh, I was in Ninja Scroll. That was.
Yes.
Okay. To answer your question really quickly, I don't know, because I've been very blessed. I really have. I've had the opportunity to play a wide variety of different characters, so I've been very, very happy with that. You brought up Ninja Scroll. I'll have to tell you a quick Ninja Scroll story. How many people have seen Ninja Scroll?
Oh yeah.
Wow, I'll see it. Well, I'd never seen it. So I was at a convention one time, and I mentioned this in a panel, and the convention gave me a copy of Ninja Scroll. So in the plane back to Los Angeles, I'm watching it on my laptop when the big giant guy comes over and strips the little girl and starts licking her like a lollipop. And all of a sudden I'm looking around and everyone on the plane is looking at me like I'm a big perv. And I'm going, uh-oh, and they're like, what the hell is this guy watching? So I kind of closed my laptop and said, maybe I should watch this at home. I'm going to close this and watch this at home. So.
I got your Coke commercial in.
Oh, okay. You want to show it? All right. How do you do it? You're just going to show it up here?
Put the microphone to it.
All right. Okay. All right. Where
right about there. Yeah.
This is a Coke commercial.
This is a Coke commercial he's in, so you probably won't be able to see it, but at least you can hear it.
We only care about the voice anyway.
What are you doing over there?
Dirty, dirty thing.
I'm gonna take a shower. Make yourself at home.
Maybe we should have called first.
Nonsense. Coca-Cola Zero presents The Impossible Made Possible.
Calm down.
I am calm. Real taste, zero sugar. It's possible.
Manny Camacho, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone asks me, why do they blow up the place after they... I don't know.
Movie.
Yeah. It's like Michael Bay did Coke commercial.
Okay, so we're pretty much out of time, so why don't we give a final hand for Richard Epcar.
Thank you.